you're looking to dive into topics on how to live a happier, healthier, more fit, and long lifespan, then you've come to the right podcast. Livin the Dream with me, Coach Damian Evans. Together, we will explore the topics on all things health, fitness, and wellness. Together, we will be lifelong learners on this journey to living the ultimate dream. What up, Dream Team? Coach D here, coming at you from beautiful sunny San Diego. And welcome back to the Livin the Dream podcast, where we kickstart your week off the right way with a mindset to conquer your goals and live your own dream life. Today, we're diving into the game-changing powers of a morning routine. How you start your day sets the tone for everything else that follows. Think about it. Your morning routine isn't just about waking up and going through the motions. It's a pivotal moment that can positively impact all of the pillars of health: movement, nutrition, stress management, sleep. So let's dive in a little bit deeper into why these morning habits matter and how they can impact each of these pillars of health. So movement, let's go through movement. Getting those legs moving early sets a tone for an active day. It could be as simple as a stretch routine, a brisk walk, or some yoga poses. Movement in the morning jumpstarts your metabolism and primes your body for the day's challenges. Did you know that starting your day with movement can activate dormant muscles and improve blood circulation? And it's not just about waking yourself up. It's about getting the blood flowing and setting the stage for an active day ahead. By dormant muscles, what I'm referring to are muscle groups that are underused or inactive in everyday life. When muscles aren't regularly engaged or worked, they can become less functional or weaker due to the lack of use. Our muscles consist of various muscle fibers that contract and relax, and they facilitate our movement. However, when specific muscles are not regularly engaged through activities like exercise or any other kind of movement, they can become dormant, meaning they're not being utilized in their full capacity. This can lead to reduced muscular strength, reduced flexibility, and reduced endurance. For instance, in a sedentary lifestyle where certain muscle groups are rarely used, such as prolonged sitting, which we see all the time, where the legs and the glutes remain inactive, these muscles might become less responsive or weaker over time. When these muscles are referred to as dormant, it indicates that they aren't performing at their optimal level due to inactivity. And many of us go from waking up in the morning to getting very little muscle activation before sitting at a desk for hours upon hours upon hours, minimizing blood circulation and rarely allowing our nervous system to communicate with the muscles of our body. To prevent this, it's essential to engage in regular physical activity and exercises that target various muscle groups to keep them active and prevent them from becoming dormant. And this is what ensures our overall muscle health, strength, and functionality. Moving on to the second pillar, nutrition. Nutrition, let's not forget about breakfast, the fuel for your day. Making smart nutritional choices in the morning keeps your energy steady, supporting your day's productivity and performance. When you eat a nutritious breakfast, it provides your body with the essential nutrients and energy, helping you to stay alert and perform well throughout the day. And when I say smart nutritional choices, this means opting for a breakfast that includes a balance of carbs, proteins, and fats to provide sustained energy. Now, here's a little known fact. A high protein rich breakfast can actually boost your metabolism for the day. A high protein rich breakfast. Incorporating a protein source in your breakfast can make a substantial difference. Your metabolism is the process by which your body converts the food that you're eating into energy. That's what your metabolism is, when you convert the food that you intake into energy to be able to use. Proteins require more energy to digest that protein food. This is compared to fats or carbohydrates. And in this increased energy expenditure, breaking down the food, this can actually have a little bit of an effect on your metabolism. And including a good source of protein in your breakfast can also lead to a feeling of fullness, satiety, It helps to regulate your blood sugar levels. A lot of the times you're also not eating those high carbohydrate breakfasts that you usually eat, which do spike the blood sugar early. And then also contributing to the overall metabolic efficiency throughout the entire rest of your day. So in simple terms, it just means that a protein-rich breakfast can help to kickstart your metabolism and support your body's energy needs. This is also the best way to get a head start on obtaining your total protein goal. Most people that I train are way under eating protein. And when I ask them to try to get 1 gram of protein per every pound of body weight that they weigh, they really struggle with this goal because they wait until the end of the day and then they try to cram it all in at the end. And of course, you're going to be super full, super bloated feeling if you eat 100 plus grams of protein all in one sitting. So front loading at least 30 grams of protein in your first meal of the day is a great goal to shoot for the majority of the goals that I see at least. Shoot for that 30 grams of protein in your first meal or more. If we move on to the stress management pillar of health, a well-structured morning routine can be your superhero shield against stress. It's your opportunity to carve out time for things like meditation, journaling, or even deep breathing exercises. Setting intentions in the morning can lay a foundation for a calmer, more resilient mindset. And engaging in activities like meditation, journaling, deep breathing during your morning routine is going to provide a dedicated time to really center yourself and focus on your mental well-being before the world gets crazy. Additionally, setting positive intentions for the day during this time can contribute to cultivating a mindset that is more calm and resilient in the face of any stressors that you might encounter that day. Here's something interesting. Dedicating even just 5 minutes to a mindfulness activity in the morning can significantly lower your cortisol levels. It can help reduce your daily stress, and it can help enhance your mental resilience throughout the day. Mindfulness could be literally sitting still in a quiet room, noticing your breath, not trying to control it, just letting the natural breath do its thing. Tuning into the body, maybe scanning from head to toe how you feel. Just being present, not letting your mind wander. When it wanders, you come back. Just taking 5 minutes in the morning when your mind is open and receptive, that could be a huge game changer for you if you're not already doing that. Now, cortisol is a hormone associated with stress, and its levels often spike in response of stressors. Cortisol is not bad, but continually high, elevated cortisol is not great for our health. A lot of our chronic diseases that we get as we age, they tend to pop up because of a little bit of added stress and our inability to cope with that long-term sustained chronic stress that we feel from emails, traffic, work, family, all the things that life has to throw at us. Now you have a natural cortisol spike in the morning, which helps to wake you up. You want that natural cortisol spike. However, most of us, then we eat that high carbohydrate meal in the morning and continue to spike this blood sugar, which is another stress on the body and spikes this stress hormone of cortisol with all the craziness of our day, our task-filled days, our checklists, all the things going on. It just keeps on increasing. Mindfulness activities such as meditation, deep breathing, journaling, these have been scientifically shown to reduce cortisol levels. Lower cortisol levels means reduced stress. And by incorporating these activities into your morning routine, you're actively working to enhance your mental resilience, making it easier to navigate stress throughout the rest of the day. So in simpler terms, taking a few minutes for mindfulness in the morning can help keep stress at bay and boost your mental strength. Just do this for a few minutes at first. Just like anything, start slow, start small, and eventually you'll increase and it will compound from there. And then the last pillar of health and wellness, sleep, recovery. Believe it or not, your morning routine even influences the quality of your sleep the next night and the ones down the road. A consistent, refreshing start helps regulate your body's internal clock, making it easier to wind down at night. So waking up in the morning if you can, even on the weekends at the same time. They say that this really helps to keep your body in rhythm so that you are able to get into those nice deep stages of sleep throughout the nights that follow as you get consistent with this routine. Most sleep experts agree that it is important that Monday through Sunday you have a good solid wake up time, which most people do have that. But the goal should also be to do that on the weekends. And then also, if you can, start to line up your times when you go to sleep. So not just your wake up times. Wake up time is a little bit more important than that go to bed time. But if you can get consistent on both bedtime and waking up time all throughout the week, man, you're going to set yourself up. So if you do struggle with sleep, if you're someone that says you have insomnia, if you wake up multiple times throughout the night and you can't get back to sleep, these are things that you can do to help set you up, because down the road in the future, you're now going to be working with your own biology instead of working against it by having lights on super bright late at night, watching the craziest Netflix show, getting stimulated in your brain, and then trying to just turn everything off and just go straight to bed. We wouldn't do that with anything. We don't do that with workouts. We don't just jump right into a workout. We warm ourselves up. We cool ourselves down. We should do the same thing in our day. Warm ourselves up in the morning. Get some morning sunlight in your eyes if you can, not through the window. Take a step outside for 1 to 5 minutes. They do, Professor Andrew Huberman, he does say that 10 to 30 minutes is even better, but you got to just do what you can. The body has this natural internal clock known as the circadian rhythm, which regulates tons of biological processes. And there's clocks in every single one of your cells. This includes the sleep-wake cycles that we're looking to increase when it comes to this pillar. So engaging in that consistent and refreshing morning wake-up time with a consistent morning routine, this will help to synchronize and regulate your internal clock. And when that internal clock is well regulated, it establishes a more predictable and stable sleep pattern, making it just easier for you to wind down and enjoy better sleep quality at night. Now, I do really want to just double down on this and just talk about how important that morning exposure of sunlight on your eyes is. This exposure to natural light in the morning sends a signal to your brain, helping to set and synchronize your internal clock and your external environment. It's literally like trying to reset the clocks in your brain. So every morning for 3 to 5 to 7 days, if you can get this morning sunlight on your eyes in the same time, this synchronization is going to be crucial for maintaining a healthy sleep-wake cycle. Get that sunlight in your eyes in the morning. You're going to have better sleep quality when the nighttime arrives, and you're going to fine-tune those internal clocks, positively influencing your way into sleep. And it just compounds. The more you can do it consistently, like most things, the better it gets. So get sunlight in your eyes as early as possible, not through a window or glass, but by being outside as best as your situation will allow, even if it's for a minute while you brush your teeth. So how can we craft this morning routine that hits all these points and covers all these pillars? Well, let's break it down. Step 1, early rise. Start with an early rise time. It gives you an ample amount of time so that you're not rushing to work. Waking up just 15 minutes earlier than you normally do can allow you to do these many things for a short period of time. Elrod wrote an amazing book that you should definitely read if this is interesting to you, called The Miracle Morning Routine, The Miracle Morning. And he has these 6 things called savers, S-A-V-E-R-S. Each one has a slightly different goal. So S would be silence, and he talks about meditation and journaling. A, affirmations, setting an affirmation of like what your day is going to be, and literally visualizing for the V what your day looks like. All these things take like 1 minute, and then you can start to slowly increase until you do it for maybe an hour total. But just wake up 15 minutes earlier. Try to go to bed at the same time every night. And then as you get accustomed to that 15-minute earlier wake up, maybe you pull it back another 15 minutes. Almost everybody that I talk to talks about not being a morning person. If you're a morning person, amazing. I give you so much props. It is not easy, but try not to do this all at once. If you always wake up at 7 a.m. and you now starting to get up at 4 a.m., you are not going to like yourself. It's going to be a bad situation. So just start to chip away by waking up a little bit earlier each morning. Step 2, hydrate. Your body's been without water for hours and hours while you sleep. So a glass of water really kickstarts your hydration. And it also actually kickstarts something that people don't really realize. It kickstarts your metabolism a little bit. No, you're not going to lose body fat by the drinking water in the morning diet, but this can help set you up, and it could be the first domino that really gets pushed to make sure the next few dominoes get knocked over. One of our groups at the gym did a huge club called the Accountability Club. And the very first week, the very first nutrition goal was to just drink 8 ounces of water first thing in the morning. And after a year of doing this Accountability Club and dozens of goals, you know which goal people talk about the most? It's this morning bath. Take this inner morning bath. And there are so many benefits. I actually have on Minisode 1, if you go back and listen to Minisode 1, you can learn all about it. So step 2, hydrate. Step 3, get a little movement in. It doesn't have to be a crazy workout. It doesn't have to be sprints. It doesn't have to be a whole 90-minute workout in the gym. Just move your body. Sure, it could be a quick jog, but it even could be just a walk around the block. It could be some nice little morning dynamic stretches. It could be put on some music and dance while you're getting ready and putting on your makeup and doing your hair. It could be a few targeted stretches to the areas that are important to you, knowing that you're maybe going to be sitting for the next few hours. You stretch your hips, your hip flexors, your ankles, your upper back. Whatever you do, get your body moving. Getting it moving early enhances your overall physical well-being. Step 4, mindfulness moment. Mindfulness matters, especially for those of us that are go, high cortisol, crazy, just checklist for day junkies. Dedicate a few minutes to it. I promise you, it can be things like meditation, taking a quick moment to journal what your day is going to look like, setting an intention for maybe something that you're excited for that day or looking forward to, or maybe you have a meeting that you're going to crush and you want to just visualize that meeting and how it goes and how you hold yourself throughout the whole day, that kind of thing. It could be creating a list of things that you're grateful for, a quick 3 list of 3 gratitude items, which really puts you in the right mindset. If the first thing you think of when you wake up is just like, damn, I really do not want to go to work today. Like, what kind of direction does that put you in mentally when that's the first thing you think of? Now, it's harder said than done. I know that. But if you shift your mindset to gratitude, we have a couple masterclass episodes on gratitude. I really think that this could be a game changer if you do it consistently over time. So take a few moments, find some silence, set the tone for a more peaceful and focused day, and put yourself in a great state of mind to positively carry you through the rest of the day. Number 4 is mindfulness movement. Number 5, this one's a little tricky because it's all about nutrition, and we know that nutrition is so individualized because there are so many variables throughout the day, but my advice is to not skip breakfast. It's your fuel for the day, of course. Choose something balanced and nutritious, but high in protein if you can. Don't overlook breakfast. Choosing a balanced, nutritious breakfast, high in protein, is your fuel that your body's going to need through the day. And I know that if you're intermittent fasting right now, intermittent fasting is hot. It's totally fine if you want to intermittent fast. Your first meal of the day, whether it's at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 1, make it high protein. But just know that a lot of the people that I train, they are doing intermittent fasting, which is actually called time-restricted eating because they're just taking a window from when they sleep to their first meal. That case, it's not technically intermittent fasting, but it is time-restricted eating. And they're doing it for weight loss control. This is a good strategy for weight loss only because it shortens the eating window that you are in, allowing you to eat less calories. But the problem is sometimes people take it way too far into the day before eating, and then they're hungry, and then those hunger hormones are kicking in, and they are really overeating, overindulging on things that maybe aren't quite as good for their health goals, their body fat loss goals. So if you don't think that you can prepare a breakfast early in the morning, here's the hack. Get a protein shake, whey protein, and a good quality source that has low calories, high protein, and low added sugar. Protein shake with water, or you could do whole milk if you do handle milk. There's a few percentage of the population that really loves and handles milk, and I totally support that. and drink that first thing in the morning. And then eat it with a fruit, maybe something like an apple or a pear or an orange, something that's going to fill you up. An apple is so satiating, and an apple a day, it actually does keep the doctor away. There was like all this debate online about how fruit is bad because it gives you a high percentage of fructose, and fructose is like high fructose corn syrup and it makes you fat, but it really doesn't take into play the fiber that the fruit has and how just satiating and filling one piece of whole fruit is. A banana is great, but if you're interested in satiety, if you're interested in a low blood sugar spike, go with a green banana. A non-ripe green banana is going to be a great way to get those fibers are actually just a little bit more tightly wound. It's harder for your body to digest them. It takes more energy to digest them. And the blood sugar spike is a lot more spread out, slow and low. Really brown bananas, those are going to be more towards the side of the high sugar fruits like dates and mangoes and things that you kind of the tropical fruits that you do want to avoid a little bit if your goal is body fat loss and if you tend to overeat your calories. Fruits are not bad, especially in the morning. Eat a fruit with your protein shake. That's as fast food can get. With this strategy, it's inexpensive. So per gram of protein and fiber, this is probably the cheapest way you could go. It's easy, it's fast. Some people don't have time to cook eggs in an omelet, and like the gold standard, what I tell personal training clients is like, hey, take the food that you're eating the night before and cook double protein. Now you have a little bit extra chicken, you have a little extra steak, you have a little extra shrimp or pork or whatever the case may be, turkey, fish. Put that into a scramble in the morning with some Greek yogurt maybe and some nuts. Oh man, you are crushing it. You have a 40, 50 gram protein breakfast right off the bat. Most people don't have a lot of time to do that or don't make the time to do that. I am one of those people. So I know, yes, a whey protein shake is processed food, but if we're going to be talking about meeting yourself where you're at and, the least harmful processed food out there, this is a good strategy to go right here. So make sure that you really focus on considering if intermittent fasting has just not been working for you, you've been doing it for a while, maybe consider another strategy. And having times throughout your week where you aren't consuming food is also super important. So if you have an opportunity to skip a meal, if there's catering at work and they bring in a bunch of Subway sandwiches, which are not great, with cookies and sodas, maybe that's the day that you fast through lunch and then you go to dinner and you have a nice solid quality whole meal dinner. Now you've cut the calories out of one meal out of the entire week. You wouldn't want to do this all the time, right? But just a little chip here and there, chipping away at your overall total calories of the week could be a great way to kickstart the fat loss that may be stubbornly holding on. Go back and listen to a 2-part series that we did on intermittent fasting way earlier. I think we released those in 2020. If you can't find them, let me know. I can send them to you. And you can get some better ideas on what may work for you without actually having to skip breakfast. I read this quote from writer and programmer Simon Saris, and they shared the secret to their good morning routine. They said, "The secret to waking up is to wake up earlier than you have to." For me, I wake up 1 to 2 hours where I can just sit there calmly, drinking coffee and not feel rushed, like I have to get to work. And you just feel 10 times better. Later on, you can work on being productive in the mornings too, if you please. So this person is talking about how to establish a little bit of time for you to just kind of chill and not be rushed. Because we all know, I've lived this life for a long time where you set your alarm clock just with enough time for you to jump out of bed, hurry and wash your face and get dressed and jump out the door and go straight to work, right? Like as little amount of time as possible. Yes, sleep is super, super important. And I know that we all have crazy, hectic lives and a lot of things to do, but if you could figure out how to make just this little block of time happen early in the morning, and parents, I know you're shouting at me right now. You're like, you don't have kids. I totally get it. Just try to move things around. Try to take some sacrifices here and there, like going to bed earlier, trying not to keep the lights on as late so that your body is ready to come down a little bit earlier. Maybe move things on your schedule if possible to be able to wake up just a little earlier, push back maybe the early morning meeting that you have a good 30 minutes to see if you can do something a little more centering before the craziness happens. But yes, good quality sleep and good quantity sleep are going to be huge things for you to really focus on. So putting all that together is not an easy task, I know, but this could be a game changer for you if you can figure out what works for you here. And that's it, my friends, for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me on this Mindset Monday episode of the Livin the Dream podcast. Share the knowledge that you gained with your friends and family and hold each other accountable. It takes a community. If you enjoyed this content, it really does help a ton. If you could post on your social media stories a screenshot of this episode and just include one takeaway that you learned, and make sure that you tag me and share your journey so I really know it's stuck for you. Tag me at Livin the Dream Podcast or at CoachDamian_SD and let us know how this episode benefited you. Let us know what we missed. Let us know what we got wrong. Tell us how you are going to start your morning tomorrow. What is your morning routine going to look like? Tell us how you've struggled with creating a morning routine, or if you've already cultivated a system of habits that launch your day into success. We want to know. Message us if you have any suggestions or tips that will help your Livin the Dream team that we can discuss on future episodes. I will be right here with you, working on making us stronger, happier, and healthier humans. Until next time, friends, keep living the dream.